Jordan, have you seen this meme where it's that face has seen an iPhone? It's sort of making fun of actors that look like modern people when they're in period piece movies.
Oh.
Like, how can you put Andy Samberg in a period movie because that face has seen an iPhone?
Yeah, you're right. There's something about it.
People have also commented that the reason that you can't really make a convincing period piece anymore is because of cosmetic dentistry. Everybody's got these fake teeth now that wouldn't have existed back in the day.
Or it's like people's spirits are just different.
Yeah, ooh, that could be. I don't know who this guy is, but this person says he's got the opposite of iPhone face.
You know who I can see being in a period piece? The guy who played the main character in Interstellar.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey?
I can see him playing it.
That face perhaps has not seen an iPhone. I would say that, what's his name? Second Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he's in period movies, but I can never take him seriously. What's his name? What's his name? Second Spider-Man. Help us out, gang.
Welcome, everyone, to the Blimey Cow podcast, the designated channel for the Blimey Cow podcast.
Correct.
Every Friday, we make the world a little less messy. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Josh, hoping that you will join us for BlimeyCon 2024, happening September 20th to the 22nd, near Nashville, Tennessee, just about 45 minutes south of here. We're going to summer camp, and we're doing it in the fall, so it won't be so hot.
Yes, because the summers in Tennessee are pretty brutal.
It's hot.
It's not. It's just that it's humid.
It's very
humid. You
humid.
can't breathe outside. We're used to it, but other people aren't. We're doing live video recordings, games, tons of activities. Head to blimeycow.com/BlimeyCon 2024, and ticket prices, they will increase.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, early registration ends at the end of July, and then we'll have late registration in August, but the prices are going to go up. So if you're thinking about signing up, I would do it now. Oh, and this is we're all over the place because we're recording extra videos and stuff because the baby is almost here. Yeah. But this I forgot what we were recording at this moment, to be truthfully honest. This is going out tomorrow. So just FYI, prices are going up.
Yeah.
July 1st, and then early registration ends July 31st. Okay,
yeah.
So the prices will go up twice by August. So get your ticket now.
Just sign up.
Just sign up. We would love to see you. It's going to be a great time to hang out with people and get to know people, and you might even meet your future spouse. But don't plan on it. But if it happens, don't say we didn't warn you.
If you want a free Blimey Cow t-shirt, then head over to supportblimeycow.com. When you join, you get a free Blimey Cow shirt. It's our way of saying thank you so much, and you also get exclusive video content like, bonus segment of the podcast and bonus messages. So head over to supportblimeycow.com. There's no slash. I was going to say slash something, but I'm so used to saying that.
I should make it so you can go to /cow and it takes you to some special website or something.
So just go there to join the best community on the entire planet.
And don't forget to check out the Clips channel, everything you love about the podcast without the time commitment. New clips uploaded every day once I'm feeling better. At Blimey Cow Clips is where you find that. Top stories.
Top stories.
Jordan, we have a very important correction from last week.
Oh, no.
I erroneously claimed that the extended edition of The Fellowship of the Ring is 4 hours long.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of nuts.
Yeah, it was not.
So
you probably did watch the extended edition.
I didn't notice any, but I'm drywalling or whatever,
right.
So I wasn't really paying attention.
It would be easy to miss. It's only 15 minutes longer than the OG. The reason that I thought it was 4 hours is because on Max, it says when you turn on the movie, this is a 4 hour movie. Like it's on the time, the scrubber thing, the time scrubber. It says 4 hours because the credits include like everybody that was in the Lord of the Rings fan club, and it goes on for like 20-30 minutes.
That happens on the DVD set that I have too?
I don't know, but at least on Max.
Wow.
Okay. So that's what happened there. That's why I was so confused, and I thought there was a 4 hour cut of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
Don't judge me too harshly. I didn't realize.
Yeah, when we were kids, we watched mainly that extended edition. Like, we watched the green box. That's the one we watched all the time.
I had never watched it the whole way through. I think.
Well, I think because we would always fall asliep. Because we had the original, we watched that a billion times. Then we switched to that and never finished it.
That's true.
We'd watch it at night, every night.
Not much happens in Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, not too much. I thought of that as I was watching it. But it's still like my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great movie. They get to the cave troll, and I'm looking, I'm like, this has only got like 45, 50 minutes left.
Yep.
I mean, and Boromir's still got to die, so that's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess this movie's almost over.
We had the exact same thoughts because when I was like, nothing happened yet. Oh, right, the cave troll, and then we don't have much time left.
Watching that movie as a kid, you think, oh yeah, and then they go to this battle and this thing happens.
Yeah.
And this thing. No, there's like 3 things. They go to the elves, they go to the troll.
Well, they're in the Shire forever, then they go to the elves.
Yeah, that's right. That's
They
basically
go to the prancing pony.
Yeah.
They go to the elves, and then the cave troll.
That's true. That movie is just a lot of them going different places.
Yeah.
We're going to the elves. We're going to the trolls. We're going to
Then you got
the
like a
dwarves.
jump scare of Bilbo.
Yeah.
Scared me to death still.
Take the vest.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more foreshadowing about the vest being used to save Frodo in the extended edition.
You do.
Yeah, so there's some good pacing things too. I know I complained a little bit last week. Okay,
People were so mad probably.
Quick correction. They were probably pretty bad. Yeah, people were like, "Yeah, Josh, it's not that long." People in the comments were like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Hey, well, we've got people to comment. Hey, while we're saying that, comment below. For
That's
the
true.
algorithm.
And speaking of that, this week we launched sort of the new format for the Blimey Cow channel.
And it's going well.
Okay. We're just, for the summer, it's going to basically be Christian meme review type videos.
Yeah.
And today we shot some different ones.
We did. We shot some of ones that we created. Some template that we got off the internet. And then we kind of battled each other. And we also used the community, their memes too. And then we did some Alex Jones one, which is just like it's just the funniest thing. I've never laughed that hard in my life.
Part 2 of our Alex Jones memes video. Yeah, Jordan laughed even harder this time.
This one actually was funnier than last time. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. It was hilarious.
And we did some homeschool memes too. So, and we might, play with the format even further, but truthfully at this point, we're just kind of in keep our heads above water mode, trying to make sure we're just ahead enough for whenever this baby shows up. So that's what we're getting very excited about, and we're excited just to, like we mentioned before, just to see what doing one format on that channel does.
I think it will help.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's an easily shareable show, and if it's just the only format we're doing on the channel, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're just old fogies on the interwebs. All right. Yeah, you do. You were gonna share some home updates. Jordan says, "Do people like when I talk about the home updates?" Go ahead and tell us. I want to hear.
Okay. Well,
what are you doing?
I'm trying to put a gas line in. Did I tell you that?
So Jordan is trying to finish his downstairs area.
Oh yeah, my basement,
which was never done when they moved into the house all those years ago.
It was a finished basement, and it was, but it wasn't.
Technically, is I guess.
It's nice because it's a very watertight basement. Like there's no water that comes in anywhere.
That's good.
So that's great. So I'm able to do a lot with it. So I've been doing I'm in the section of the room that I did all the easy stuff. Now we're getting behind the fireplace, kind of having to drill into the mortar of the fireplace to kind of be able to put drywall around part of it, and around the air duct and all that stuff. So I was like, oh wait, before I continue like going around the fireplace, I need to put a gas line in. We don't have a gas fireplace now, propane. We have a propane tank, but we don't have it hooked up to anything because our upstairs fireplace, it's one big fireplace. It just goes straight down. It goes upstairs and downstairs. So the upstairs one was gas when we bought the house, but I wanted the upstairs one to be log because I like that look better.
Yeah.
And, it's just more classic. You're sitting around the fireplace, Oh,
yeah.
But downstairs, we have a really nice, like, Ashley wood stove. If somebody out there knows what that is, it's kind of like an expensive item that just happened to be there when we bought the house. Because that house used to not have central heat or air.
Oh.
So they actually used that to heat the house. Wow. So it's still there, and I love it. I love manipulating like the air intake and like the airflow and how much. And it's got like a fan that once it gets hot enough, it blows out, and it's super hot. That thing is pretty cool. Yeah, it's neat. So I can't bring myself to get rid of that thing. It is huge, and it weighs 20 trillion pounds. But I don't want to get rid of it. Sarah kind of wants to get rid of it because she loves just turning on and the propane is so hot.
Coming up, the confrontation.
So now I'm just, look, the compromise, you got to compromise in relationships. I said, look, Sarah, I love this gas stove. Maybe one day when I get older, I won't want to chop wood constantly and bring. So I will put a gas line in the ceiling behind the fireplace and it will nipple down so that if I ever want to actually drill into the fireplace to get the gas pipe through that, I can attach it and just bring it down and just 90 it into the fireplace.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just giving myself that option. It makes everybody happy, and it makes me happy too.
How long is that going to take you to do?
Not long.
Oh,
it's just I've never done gas pipe stuff
What
before,
else do you have left to do overall?
I'm putting in some lights. At this point, I know enough that literally, like, Eddie's not even really helping me with that much anymore. I'm like, Eddie, I need you to come over and help me look at this gas line a little bit. So he came over and told me how I need to get it out of the house and all this stuff. And so I was like, gotcha. So I'm working on that now. And then he gave me some suggestions on where I should maybe put some lights in this darker area. So I'm doing that, but I know how to do the electrical stuff now. So, there's at some point he's going to have to come over and help me with something. I don't know when yet, but it'll be something. I think when we put a new breaker in the house, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that yet.
I watched the guys do it.
Oh, did you?
Some of it at least, when they came in to do it here, and that was pretty wild. That's something you pay someone to take care of for you.
Yeah.
Are you saying Eddie knows how to do that?
Yeah.
And he can just do it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind.
I think he put the breaker box in, like when they built the house.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
Sure.
Man, that's just, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just make sure everything's turned off, I guess.
Yeah.
You just got to be wrong one time.
Well, the thing with the breaker box is that you can't actually turn it off. Like, there's always a section of that because the electricity is coming from outside to inside. So there's like a section that can't actually get turned off.
Right.
So as far as I understand, so you have to kind of.
Is that what you turn it off from the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's still power coming into your house. It's like just going through the wires.
Yeah.
Like, it's just shutting. It's just powering off the breaker box, but there's still power up at the top, I think. So we'll figure all that out, but it's taken a while. There's been some stuff going on, so I haven't been able to work down there nearly as much, but I've got a few weeks left here, so I'm trying as best as I can, Josh. That's all I
Every
can
time
say.
Jordan comes on the podcast, just a few weeks left. I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to answer a message?
Yes.
All right.
Hello, Jordan and Josh. My dream in life was always to be a wife and mom. That is what I've wanted since I was little, and I thought since the Bible was in support of women doing this with their lives, that my parents would want that for me. But, Josh, I was wrong. They want me to go to college and get a 9-to-5 so I can contribute to whatever family I have one day. This is odd. My dad says to live in his house, I have to work a job he wants me to work or go to college for a degree he wants. But I'm also not allowed to move out of my house until the day I walk down the aisle. See, that's where it gets weird. I understand the dad being like, hey, look, you're not married yet.
Right.
I thought she was saying she's married. But she's not married yet. Like, we need to get a job or go to school. Because imagine if you don't find somebody, then you're going to have to get work. But then to say, hey, also, but you I have these rules, but you can't leave. That's just like kind of sadistic. Or he won't walk me down, as in there will be no relationship. So if she leaves home, he won't walk her down the aisle. Incredible. I want to follow his...
What incredible power to hold over someone's head.
He knows her. That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
what's kind of scary. I want to follow his rules and make him happy. I am 18. I graduated high school at 16. Completed almost a year and a half of college that my dad wanted me to complete with a 4.0. Even though I didn't have a passion for what he's having me go for. You think it's like a doctor? And had a full-time job from the time I was 17. She's nailing it. What's going on?
I know.
Last week, I broke up with my boyfriend of 2 years because he wasn't treating me right. And I realized I was only seeing him as a way to get out of my home life. It feels like my life is going nowhere and that I have nothing. I'm really unhappy. I could use some advice. This stat is ruining her life in real time. That's the new thing people say in real time.
Is that what they say?
Oh, all the time, Josh. In real time. We're watching it in real time. I actually like that trend. I like saying that.
I've heard people say, like, I caught you in 4K. Like,
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate will say, in real time. Like, he'll say that constantly. Oh, wow. And now you just hear everybody. You'll never unhear that now.
Is he really influential?
I hope not. I mean, I
hear people say, "Oh, people follow this Andrew Tate guy." This Andrew Tate guy. It's like, well, are they, or are you just talking about him a lot? But I don't.
That's what I mean.
I'm too old now. I don't know what's going on.
It's like we've talked about it. It's like, you can see some like, okay, maybe the pendulum needs to swing a little bit more in this direction, but it's like nuts, crazy nuts. Like, I don't want anything to do with the way he lives. I don't, Josh, she's done everything. I thought she was going to, honestly, I thought she was going to say, I don't do anything. I just am waiting for my husband.
Yeah.
And so my dad
She's got an education. She didn't even want to go to school.
She got a full-time job while going to school and getting a 4.0. She's dating this guy that the dad absolutely hates. I guarantee you. And so that's why she broke up with him. Because then the dad is planting into her mind. I can read this, man. The dad is planting into her mind. Oh, do you like him? You like this guy? Well, okay. Yeah. Okay.
See if I walk down the aisle for this guy.
Yeah. So then she's like, wait, am I only dating him, this awesome guy, because my dad, because I'm trying to leave my dad, who's like the most spiritual man I know, but like at the same time, I'm unhappy. Maybe that's because I'm not following God. I gotta break up with my boyfriend now, so I can. That's the exact situation.
That's so true, dude. And you were right when you said that this guy knows her really well, and so he's holding this leverage of like, I'm not gonna walk you down the aisle, because he knows that that's what she wants to do. She wants to just get married and have a family.
Yeah.
And so the marriage is something that she idolizes to some degree. So he's like, well, we'll see if you get that wedding.
Yeah, this is a sadistic man. Josh, I would say this man is a narcissist. What would you say?
Probably so. Yeah.
She's 18. What does she do?
I don't think this guy wants you to get married. Like,
no, definitely not.
He wants to keep you under his roof.
To control you.
But he also doesn't want to provide for you. He wants you to get a job and make your own money.
This is a weird situation, but you're right. It's not the traditional controlling parent, but it's like worse.
He's going to tell you can't move out until you get married, but he's also not going to like any of your boyfriends. And he's going to tell you that until you have a spouse, you can't leave. You can't leave, and you need to get a real job. So anyways, I would sit down with a piece of paper and actually make a list of faults or flaws that this boyfriend of yours had. And if
that's a good one.
If you can trace all of them back to things your dad has said, look, and maybe we're misreading this. We're just going off what you wrote.
We're not. I can tell on this situation. We're reading this 100%.
I'm just saying, maybe this guy does have some good advice to share.
The dad?
Sure. I'm just saying. I don't want to say,
Satan has some good advice too, Josh. You think Satan's all bad?
He knows the Bible too.
I just told Sarah that the other day. Satan's probably the hottest guy you know, and he's like really convincing. He's that roofer who's like trying to convince you they did everything right when your roof is still leaking.
Wow.
It's like, what are you talking about? Man. No, and then you actually walk away feeling bad for him.
There are a few groups that Jordan does not trust, and near the top of that list is the roofers of America.
There's a lot of nice roofers out there. Josh, I believe that with my whole heart.
You've just met all the bad ones.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying, maybe take a second look at. I mean, you were with this guy for 2 years. You seem like a nice person. I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe you were just dating him because you're looking for some sort of way to escape. And if that's true, sure. But
I mean, she can't help it.
It just feels like manipulation to me.
It is.
Okay.
She can't help it. I mean, honestly, that actually is kind of a good reason to date somebody, in my humble opinion. Like, when it comes down to it, Yeah, I'm in this weird abusive relationship with my dad, and I met some guy who's nice and likes me.
Right.
Okay, I like him too.
Right.
Like, how can you say that's not going to be a motivation to get married?
No, I can't. I'm.
It's nuts.
I want to get out, so it's okay. It's fine. You want to get out.
It's okay. Maybe this guy can help you.
Yeah. Maybe you guys can work together to get out of this situation. Just based on what you wrote, that's what I would say.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I think we answered that pretty well. I think we're trying to give her a new perspective on her dad.
Yes.
He is the cause of this pain.
Jordan, this next section is going to
scare me. Conspiracy theory? Oh no.
All right, Jordan, I can tell when you're spiraling because you start texting me about how you're worried you're going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Jordan's having a bad day.
Yeah.
And I choose my words carefully from that point on. Once you bring up the draft, I know, all right, I need to be careful. I got to be careful with Jordan. He's a little delicate today. He needs some encouragement and some help.
This is not that day.
No, I'm saying that you were right.
Yeah.
The draft is coming.
That's what I'm worried about, Josh. That's what I was worried about. What happened? They got to do something before the election. They got to make there not be an election.
The House passes a measure to automatically register men for selective services.
Yeah, that's right.
So what was this tied to before? Was it that if you registered to vote, then you were signing up for selective services? Is that what it was?
I thought it was always this. So that's why I'm confused now. I thought that I could just get drafted no matter what.
I think maybe I'm wrong. I think it was attached to voting. Like if you said you didn't want to vote, or maybe it's like if you accept a social security number or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever it was, we were clearly wrong to some degree because now it's no longer voluntary. They're pushing this to be a mandatory thing. They're worried because people aren't signing up for the military anymore. How things have changed since we were kids.
Yeah, for real. I went back and rewatched. Well, I've got a lot of time on my hands while I'm doing the stuff downstairs. I just got my little DVD set going on, and I was rewatching some stuff back from the day. Yeah. And from right after 9/11. Yeah. And it was very interesting, like dogmatic, like almost religious. I know. Of like. That we were all right about everything. It was very bizarre.
Yeah, there were a lot of military movies back then.
It was very interesting.
A lot. So they're working on this now. They want to make it so you have to sign up for the draft. But even crazier, this is what really is kind of freaky to me. The Senate Democrats are working to require that women can be drafted too. This is something the Democrats are pushing.
What is going on?
You had told me this like when I was a teenager. I would have said there's no way that's true. There's no way that's true in like the heyday of Bush and all that stuff. To think that it's wild.
So is this stuff actually passing? I mean, like, I honestly, I'm so checked out of all this stuff.
I know, I am too. I'm kind of trying to get caught up as well.
I thought that the Republicans had control of the House to some extent, but now the Johnson is doing everything that the Democrats want. So then the Democrats have control of the Senate right now, don't they?
Yeah.
So if this passes in the House, I'm sure Johnson will more than love to send us to Ukraine.
They'll always have exactly the number of votes they need to pass whatever they need to pass. Okay?
So then it'll go to the Senate, then it'll actually get passed. And then before the election, they want every man out of here. They want
they want the women too, apparently.
I think that's just, I don't know what that is.
Why would they do that?
We're gonna send you to Ukraine where you can die.
We're gonna King David you to the front, Uriah to the front of the lines.
They know you're voting. They know how you vote. They're putting you to the front, and you're getting killed.
Jordan, okay, sure, but why? why are they doing this to the women too? What?
I don't know. That just seems idiotic to me. Like, why are you trying to scare women now?
Look, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are some women out there who would say, "Yeah, finally, good. What's the difference? Why shouldn't we?"
But it really does. How many? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't seem like the majority are going to be like all gung ho about going and fighting.
Like if I showed I would say 99% of women I know this, they would say, like, they wouldn't even like pretend like, well, yeah, because, you know, equality and stuff.
Yeah,
they would be like,
no.
Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
And
so is this,
like, why would they look if it's all a smokescreen? Why are they even pushing it?
Yeah,
like exactly. It just feels like bad politics.
No, they're trying to do something before
something weird's going
something
on, guys.
before November. Something's gonna. I think I might be gone.
I think they're freaking out because they're like a cornered animal, and I think that they're looking. They're like, if we want, who's gonna fight these wars that make us all our money? And because nobody's signing up, so they gotta. Can you? If something happened that was scary enough that it required a draft, do you think anybody would believe it?
At this point, I wouldn't. No, not at this point.
I'd be like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's how everybody would be. I don't know. But then, you know, just like with taxes, then they're like, well, we're going to destroy your life. We're going to take everything from you if you don't go.
I don't know. To me, they really do seem like they're just so scared of losing their power. And so everything is like, we gotta maneuver in different ways just to keep the masses like satiated. So to do that kind of thing, I think that they would, as much as they would love to do it, I think that they worry like, well, that has too many, who knows what could happen if we start like if we implement a draft and people don't sign up, and so we tax them to oblivion or do whatever to ruin their lives. Well, that's going to make people mad. So then what's going to happen? We just got to hang on to this power and all this money and all this that we have. And but they get all their money by funding all these wars and laundering their money that way. So they've got to keep the wars going, but if people aren't signing up for the wars, so they're freaking out.
Yeah, they can't convince us that it's a good idea anymore.
Right. It used to be so good. You just have a 9/11 every once in a while. You can just keep the wars going for decades.
Right. It's like, even if there was a war with, like, say, China or something, it would be like, even now I would be like, what? Okay, so who is benefiting from this now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you could try and come up with, a war with Russia, which we probably are in right now. I mean, we just like, that's right. It's like, is World War III actually going on right now and we just don't know? Probably. It's like, it's very odd.
Are people making their money? Yes. Yeah. So I guess there is something going on.
I don't know. It's just,
I don't think it'll be like an attack. Like, oh no, the Russians attacked us, or the Chinese, they attacked us on our homeland. I think it'll be.
I think someone's just going to go one step too far and nukes are going to start flying. That's what I think.
Dude, I don't know. That's scary to think about.
I think that whoever's in charge now, which we don't know who it is, but whoever it is so incompetent or is so like sadistic that they don't want us to know just how close we are to that actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that other countries who have this are really playing around.
Yeah.
They don't like what's going on over here.
Like, what do they do?
I don't know. In my mind, it's like, if you don't have like a strong man kind of person in power, like, surely other countries like really like that, because like, oh, the U.S. is weak.
Yeah. But then part of me feels like they all just get along behind the scenes anyway. Yeah. You know?
That's what us laymen just have no idea.
Yeah.
We're just trying to look behind the curtains. We don't know.
I don't know. But I really, really, really don't understand why they're talking about drafting the women.
Yeah, I mean, even the fact right now that they know that all these wars are like the most unpopular thing in the country, and they're like, hey, also now we're going to draft you to fight these.
Hey, guess what? If you have to draft the women to fight the war, then you're probably going to lose the war.
I wonder if this is just like a threat to people, to just be like, to just scare people and just be like, hey, look, we're in charge over you. We can send you if we want to.
Yeah.
Like, just to get that in your psyche.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be, dude. I don't know. This is weird.
Now, something will happen. There'll be some serious something that happens before before the election. Something's
yeah.
gonna happen.
Every once in a while, I see an article like this, and I think, "Oh no, we're not crazy. Something weird is going on."
I think that there's not going to be an election. That's what I personally.
You're amending your prediction.
I think that it's gotten so bad. I think that Michelle isn't even like that's not even on the table anymore. I think they're just like that was Plan B. That was actually Plan A. And that's gone now that they're like we're gonna lose. We can't even. There's nothing we can do.
EMP attack.
Yeah, Plan B is like.
Oh,
they're gonna do something bad.
If there was an EMP attack, there literally couldn't be an election.
That's what I mean. They're. I know this sounded nuts, like in 2020 when people were saying that. I didn't believe that. But this time, I think that they're actually scared that they're gonna get in trouble.
Cornered animals.
Yeah, so that's why I'm worried that the nukes are going to start flying because they're actually scared they're going to jail this time. Oh boy!
Well,
whatever jail is for these rich people, I don't know.
Get in your bunkers, everybody. It's almost the 0 hour.
Terrifying.
Or maybe it'll all be fine. I debated including this or not, but Jordan said he was genuinely curious when I told him that Star Wars is done. He said, I want to know why you said that.
I don't keep up with anything. And I was actually just with, I was just helping some people with their roof because the roofer is messed up. And so I'm over there and I have a little know-how now about this because of some situations I've had.
Yeah.
So the little kid was there, their son, and he just loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
He knew everything. He was like telling me stuff. He's got all of his action figures. Yeah. Reminded me of us when we were kids. Yeah. And he was like explaining. He's a little kid, and he remembers everything about the movies. And I was like, dude, I don't even know what you're saying. So it's sad to me to hear this.
Yeah, my kids love Star Wars too. Not to the degree that our friend's son does.
Yeah.
But there are just certain movies. Willy Wonka is one of them.
Yeah.
They're proof that a movie doesn't have to be like stupid 2020s kid movie with like fart jokes and just things all over the place. It's just kids love. They'll talk about Willy Wonka all the time.
Oh yeah,
they love that movie. Star Wars is the same way, and that's what makes me so sad to see this. I now I've not watched this show, The Acolyte, but literally, Jordan, all you have to know about this show is the showrunner of this show was the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein.
The what of the show?
The showrunner. She's like the director. She's like in charge of the show.
She had fun times with Weinstein?
No, she was the personal assistant to the fun times.
Oh, jeez.
And we're all just supposed to be like okay with this, I guess. She still gets to get work in Hollywood, probably because she knows things.
So she's running Star Wars now, or running the new
She's
movie?
running this show, which is like an 8-part series called The Acolyte. They've aired like 4 episodes so far, so it's halfway through. But
what's it on? Netflix?
No, it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right.
And it is. I haven't seen any of it. I'm just seeing like little clips going around. So I'm completely checked out about everything Disney Star Wars has. The last thing I tried to watch was Obi-Wan because it was terrible.
Oh.
It was terrible. And that's what made me realize, like, if they can screw this up, right over the plate show.
Yeah.
Because it was just supposed to be a show about what happened to Obi-Wan between Revenge of the Sith and when he meets Luke as an adult. They completely ruined the show. They made it so that Obi-Wan had met Princess Leia as a child. So they had to kind of retcon and be like, no, don't tell anybody that we met if you ever, because Princess, they don't know each other in the original movie.
Right.
So they have to be like, no, don't tell anyone that we met.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. It was so dumb. And they made the Princess Leia as a kid like the main like the main character of the show, even though it was Obi-Wan's show. And
that's bizarre.
God bless the child actor, but she was not very good. It was just the whole thing was awkward and dumb. It was stupid. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there. I watched it to the end just because I couldn't believe it.
Is it a movie or a series?
It was a series. It was supposed to be a movie, and they stretched it out into a TV show, and it was way too long. By the end, like by the second episode, I was like, "This is terrible." And now I'm just watching this to find out, like, what have they done? And so after that, I gave up. So now we're to The Acolyte, which is like 3 shows later, and anyways. But they're doing like freaky stuff now. Like, I want you to see this, and you tell me. I'm almost a little nervous to show this on
Really?
on our channel because this is truly creepy stuff.
This is a kid's show or an adult?
Who the frick knows anymore?
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
This just has this modern feel to it.
Power of one,
I know.
power of two, the power of many.
What the bleep am I watching?
They're like all witches. Like that's what they actually are in the show.
Star Wars made witches?
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Isn't that weird? I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's like, that's evil.
I know. That's how I feel. So they've had witches and stuff in Star Wars before, I guess, but this is like now it's on the TV show too.
They had this like in our
Not on the good Star Wars, but like in other things. I don't know I don't know Star Wars. I don't know the lore enough. I just liked the movies growing up, and it's so bizarre to see what they've done. I really think most people watching the show now are just watching it to watch the train wreck. I don't think there's many people because it's not good. It's not good. Like it's like every Star Wars show is so sanitized down to like be this like Disney brand, but it's still trying to like be edgy and do this stuff. And so it just comes off of this weird sort of like super clean, but super gross at the same time and super just
weird.
like corporate.
It like Star Wars had this feel to it. I don't even know how to, and everybody knows what I mean. You don't even the bad ones, like the ones like the Sith Lord and all this stuff, whatever it was called, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
and those Attack of the Clones, these ones, like even if those, I haven't watched those in so long, but like they all just had like a feel to it,
a Star Wars feel. Yeah, I know what you
when
mean.
I saw that, like just now, even when I would see clips of like the Mandalorian or whatever.
Oh,
it was
okay,
called, there's just something, or even the one with Rey. What was her name?
Oh, Force Awakens, like the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It just doesn't feel like it's the same thing.
Because it's not. It's not made by the same people. It's not made by any of the same people. It's made by a completely new people. George sold it off.
Does he regret now?
He has made comments before the Acolyte started. He actually made some comments saying, "I don't think anybody else understands quite what the Force is or how it works or whatever."
Yeah.
And they're like doing this weird stuff. I won't get into all the details because people probably don't care, but they've done all this weird stuff like retconning things from Star Wars, like explaining different ways about how the Force actually works. It's and then like characters that shouldn't have been alive or like in the show. It's either they're just saying, haha, screw you guys, or they don't know. You know, it's like basic stuff that normie Star Wars fans would be aware of. I don't know. Anyways, but this isn't. It gave me hope because I think that this is critical mass now. I don't think that Star Wars can go much lower. I think that they've like completely killed the brand.
Yeah.
I don't even know if when the Mandalorian movie comes out, I don't know that people are gonna like be interested to see it.
I wonder if the only way to save it is if they just give it back to George Lucas.
Yeah,
somehow.
he just turned 80 the other day.
Are you serious?
He's getting older now, yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know, yeah, but the thing is they can't sell Star Wars because they would have to sell it for a lot less than they bought it for. So it would be like an admission that they completely screwed it up and they just sold it to make some money. So they'll never do it. So Star Wars just belongs to Disney now. That little bit of like that we all had when we found out at first that Disney bought Star Wars back in the day, because you were like, oh, this could be cool. Disney actually makes stuff. Maybe we'll get some Star Wars stuff. But in the back of your head, you thought, what are they gonna do with it? This is what they did with it. This is what they did with it.
That's sad.
It's run by a bunch of like Hollywood elitist types now. At least George like hated the studio system. He hated Hollywood growing up, you know? Like that was part of the appeal of the man. But now it's just run by the machine.
I feel like it started to go bad when they started tinkering around with the lightsaber. It's a pure form. It's a pure symbol. For good and evil.
Yeah.
And then they started to like screw around with it and have like little blades come off the side that like make no sense. Like it was a, you know.
In what movie? What are you talking about?
Well, like the one with Rey and all and he's got his like stupid sword that everyone thought it was so cool, but it was literally just to like get spread around online to like look cool so that people would share the clips and stuff. I think that's just, I don't know anything about Star Wars, but I feel like that was the
I know what you're
lightsaber was
saying.
a symbol of good and
I know
evil.
what you're saying. Yeah.
And then they were like, how can we like tinker with this? It's like the already pure thing.
Yeah.
It's like, let's start adding stuff to it so
Yeah.
that like kids like it again.
Well, they've kind of made the idea. This is one of the main things Disney did was they've kind of made it like the balance of the Force is like this balance of good and evil, versus like what George Lucas said was like, no, the balance of the Force is that evil took over and good had to get back in control.
They got to do middle of the road, Josh.
Yeah.
That's the demise of every human being.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so it's kind of just fun to sort of be on the outskirts of this, not watch the show, but just kind of see the reaction from everybody. But it finally has gotten to where like even like mainstream outlets have kind of had to admit like, okay, yeah, this show is not doing well. It's not, because the first thing they want to always do is say like, this is just the toxic Star Wars fans. They're just a bunch of racist or whatever.
Yeah.
They're always
Right
calling
wing.
everybody names or whatever. But it's gotten to the point where with this show, at least, that there's enough backlash to it that they've had to admit, okay, yeah, I mean,
Well, that's good.
this is just not good. So that's what makes me think maybe we've hit critical mass where they kind of just have to admit now, like, no, you guys screwed up Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like they say with the United States of America and their like infrastructure is just so amazing, but there's like not enough engineers in the country to build it back. If like it was all gone,
That's right.
we're just all running on fumes, like trying to. It seems like Star Wars,
Exactly.
like they couldn't build it; they just hijacked it, and now they're trying to run it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You buy a brand. You didn't build that brand.
Somebody bought the United States now, and they're trying to run it, and like we're not smart enough to have built it. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, this does remind me of that.
I'm curious what Star Wars will look like in 10 years from now. Because if you had told me 10 years ago this is where Star Wars would be, I would be like, man, I guess I could see that, but that is really sad. It's really come a long way and also come nowhere at all. And it's very sad. Anyways, I'll still show my kids the OG.
Sorry, Josh.
Thank
I know
you.
this
It's
hurts
fine.
you. I remember when Star Wars bought it, and you were excited, but I could tell you were like worried about it. And you tried to give it a chance, and then I could see you slowly just backtrack and be like, "This is awful."
I think this was I've had a few things in life that have made me realize you don't need 1,000 of the same good thing. You can just have 3 of a good thing.
Imagine if they had just made 3, and then he made the other ones, Attack the Clones and stuff, and that was it, and that's all we had.
Yeah. And that would have been great because people didn't like the prequels as much.
Exactly.
So then they could just have that. But now it's like this is what's really funny.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten so bad with Disney Star Wars that people are like, the prequels weren't that bad.
Yeah, that's
and now
what I'm wondering.
They've gotten a resurgence. So now people act like they like the prequels, which is funny. I haven't watched those prequels in so long. I couldn't even make a fair assessment. All I remember is on my birthday one year, Attack of the Clones was in theaters, and it was like the 3rd or 4th time we had gone to see it. I remember we were like sitting in the back of an empty theater, just laughing the whole time. That's all. So like anytime I am tempted to think maybe the prequels aren't that bad, I'm like, no. As a child, not as an adult, as a child before my brain was all the way developed, I laughed at this movie in a theater. So how could I, as an adult, say no? You know what?
Yeah, no, you can't.
It's a movie made for kids that made me laugh as a child.
Not good. Not great.
Want to recommend some stuff?
Sure. We have the same recommended today.
Yeah, what's this all about?
Well, you say yours.
Oh, okay. I recently rediscovered a playlist I made on Spotify called Unskippable. Very simple premise for my playlist. I put every song I love on that playlist, and if I listen to it, it's like 8 hours long. If I listen to it and I want to skip into the songs, it's gone. It's gone. So I'll add songs sometimes, and I'll just keep it listening, keep playing it on a shuffle. Ever come to a song I don't like, it's gone. So I try not to like micromanage or psychoanalyze it every time a new song comes on. I just keep enjoying the music. But if it ever gets when I'm like, I don't want to listen to this right now, it's gone. So that's the playlist. So I'll put a little link
that's nice.
if anybody wants to. There were like 30 people that had already liked it. I must have posted it somewhere at some point. I don't know.
I think you talked about it one time before.
Maybe. I made it years ago. I need to update it now with like maybe 2 bands I've started listening to in the last 3 years.
So people like can subscribe to a playlist?
Yeah, you can, and then if I update it, it'll be updated on their end, and if they want to just copy it the exact way it is now, they can just copy everything into a new playlist, and then if I make changes, it doesn't make a change anyways. What about you? You have an Unskippable playlist?
Mine is an Unskippable playlist, but it is just for me. I guess I could link it. I don't even know how to do that. It's on Apple Music, so that's not. But I have we all know I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I'm trying to learn French, and it's going very well actually. I'm finally making some breakthroughs, which is hard when you're learning a language.
Yeah.
But I made a very early on when I was just trying to immerse myself. I was going through and just trying to find some French songs, and so I made a French Unskippable playlist.
Oh, okay.
Which I do skip some of the songs, but I'm not as dogmatic as you, Josh, when it comes to that. But
I'm very dogmatic.
I've listened to the song so many times that it reminds me. There's this funny clip that has gone around of somebody who's not from the United States who doesn't speak English, and this was like a pageant, and they're like, they do like a little talent, and their talent was singing a very well-known popular like English song, and she had just listened to it on repeat. She didn't know what the song actually was, what it was saying, so she was just kind of singing the song, but like just saying sounds that don't make any sense. You got to find that at some point.
Okay.
But it's hilarious.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I feel like when I'm listening to this. Like, I'm getting the sounds of how French people speak. Sure. And then as I progress in the language, then I can I always go to the lyrics every once in a while, like maybe once a month. And I just try and see, okay, have I broken through what this means? I literally try and intentionally not translate stuff. I just want to see if, as I'm learning, if I can go back to these songs and it starts to make more sense. Yeah. And it helps, and it just gives you that. But one thing I realized with the French, at least when they're singing their songs, it doesn't sound the same as when they're singing and when they're talking, because they can kind of like add sounds that aren't necessarily like the endings. They might pronounce endings that they wouldn't pronounce normally.
Well, that's like listening to punk rock music. The way they sing isn't really how anyone talks in real life.
But imagine if he was like, the way people sing isn't the way that people talk on like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be like that. Okay. And then you have to, so it's not the greatest thing to do, but just to get words like in your brain.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
That's my playlist recommendation. If you're learning a language, do that. I would suggest it, and do it very early on, and just listen to these songs 100 billion times. I wake up singing these songs. I don't even know what they're saying.
The boys have a English and Spanish album, so they can learn some Spanish, and they just walk around singing it. They know lots of Spanish words now. It's pretty cool. It is a very effective way to learn a language.
Yeah.
Wow, another fun episode. Kind of a dark one, I would say. I mean, we showed some witches, and we talked about drafting women.
Whatever. I'm worried about leaving, Josh. I'm worried I'm gone. I don't think they're actually going to send women to go fight with Zelensky. I think I'm going. I think I'm going.
What do you think they're going to do to you when you say you're not?
I don't know.
I think that most people were going to say no. I don't think that people
That's what I thought during COVID.
But it's so different. There's a difference between hey, do these things or don't do these things to keep us all safe versus get in the plane.
Well, they'll have started something else. It's not going to be the Ukraine situation. It'll be something else that actually seems like okay. It'll be something where you think, wow. So the U.S. government is crazy, but like now it's gotten so bad that like I have to go.
What if it's like a domestic war? You get drafted for a domestic war.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Josh. I haven't.
Then you don't have to fly anywhere. You can stay at home.
But who am I? Who is on the other end of that? I don't want to know. Shoot. Kill him. No, I won't. I'm not going to do it.
All right, that was a really fun episode of the podcast. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we will see you next week. How many more weeks are we going to be able to say that?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Who knows?
Who knows?
Still here for as long as we're here.
Bye-bye.
Because of the baby, not because of the draft.
Yeah.